Welcome back. You're looking at one of the Bell 47 choppers, which is owned by EAA. You can actually take a ride on one of these next week for $70. Late in the week, who knows? Maybe you'll be lucky enough to have a pilot with a big secret. Captain Ray Paws might be the most visible pilot of this particular helicopter that not many people have ever heard of until now. For years, those first few chords and these images were iconic. Yet for all the notoriety of MASH, there still existed anonymity.
If you notice, I was not a member of the Guild, and I had no agent, so my name's not even in the credits.
But that's Ray flying in the second chopper. He owned both of them, and every time you see a chopper flying in an episode, he's the pilot. And he was for 9 of the 11 years that show was on TV. Not that he told anybody about it.
My second wife, she came home from work one day, she's a banker, and said, laughing, and I said, "What's so funny?" And she goes, "You're not going to believe what my secretary asked me." And I said, "Okay, what did she ask you?" "She wants your autograph." And I said, "For what?" "Well, she thinks you were in MASH." And I said, "I was." "You were not." I never even told my wife. So, when I tell you I don't tell people, that's what I'm talking about.
Sheer persistence paid off for Paws to get the job. He walked into the 20th Century Fox offices off the street 3 times. The first 2 times, they told him to beat it. The third time, they offered him the flying job in the MASH movie, which then led to the TV series. But only after he joined the Screen Actors Guild, reluctantly.
And he goes, "Well, Ray, you have to join this guild." And "Oh, well, how do you do that?" And he goes, "Well, I think it was $800, something like that." And I said, "I'm not going to pay that much money." "No." And the guy said, "Ray, listen to me." And I went, "No." And he goes, "Hey, it will come back to you tenfold. Come on, Ray." And he said, "Do it." So against my better judgment, I went, "Okay, fine." And man, am I glad I did. Because I still get residual checks. You know what I mean?
It wasn't all chopper flying in the show. Ray was 5 o'clock Charlie, the North Korean pilot who was so inept at trying to bomb the 407 7th that it became cocktail hour and a betting pool. A legendary episode that nearly was remembered for something far less entertaining.
But I'll tell you what, man, I almost crashed doing that show. The plane was an old PT-22, military trainer from way back. And the owner of the airplane was in the back cockpit down below, because he couldn't be seen on camera, right? I had all these bombs down in between my feet, so I grabbed one and throw it out. And anyway, I threw the bomb out, and I'm going down the canyon there in Malibu, and this airplane doesn't have much horsepower at all. So I'm going down the canyon, and I said, "Oh, this is a box canyon. I'm screwed." So I yelled at the guy in the back, and I said, "Hey, you might want to sit up and take a look at this." And he went, "What?" And I said, "Well, we're in a box canyon. I don't know how we're going to get out of it, because I can't climb out." And I get down to the end, and the canyon turned. And so I turned and flew on out. So that's how close it came.
Well, next week, this pilot of more than 60 years will experience AirVenture for the first time. What are his expectations?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen when I get there. All I know is, hey, Ray, we'll get you a ticket and a hotel and blah, 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 blah. Can you come? Sure, I can come. That's all I know.
Ray is 82 years old. He still flies planes and helicopters for 2 companies. And if you run into him next week, prepare to be entertained. This guy can spin a yarn, he can talk, and he can tell a story. And boy, does he have a lot of them.